Hi everyone, Andrew here. I've been wanting to make this video for a while now, but a few things happened. Oh, by the way, there's a cool interview that I did for a Spanish blog, so if you speak Spanish, you'll find the link down here. They're called simenor.com. It's really cool, and it's a fun interview. They asked very strange questions, so check it out if you want to. And then I got the flu this weekend, and as a matter of fact, my fingers still feel like this big thick sausages, so you know, if I screw up, don't be too harsh. And then also I got a few things from these guys, which they sent me a bunch of stuff to try out, and as a matter of fact, I might do a review of this amp later this week, so check it out later on this channel. But anyway, this video for today is about scales. And scales is something that no matter your level or what kind of style you play, you always have to kind of deal with scales. In the beginning, because you have to memorize a lot of them, learn how to play them, increase your technique, your coordination with them and all that stuff. And then when you get to a more advanced level, you still kind of have to worry about them because they're still pretty good for warming up. I don't usually play scales, but warm-up exercises usually kind of revolve around them. And so as long as you're playing them, you might as well try to figure out a way to make them, you know, useful also musically. And so here's an idea, and this will kind of screw up your head. You'll think you know the scales. As a matter of fact, we're going to do it in C major in a very simple position, but you kind of figure out that what you thought you knew, maybe you don't know so well. And I'm sure some of you will kind of blow through this exercise and it's real easy, but for a lot of you, I think you'll find the coordination to be quite complex. So the basic idea is that you play the whole scale, and once you play all the way up, you go back and you start from the next note. So you play, for example, from C, you go all the way up the last note of the position, and then right away, without stopping, you move back to the second note, and you start again, and then again. And so on, and I have a close-up in a second, until you get to the point where you don't have any more notes left, and then you can do it backwards. And the difficult thing is that your brain is probably used to practicing scales from the lowest string to the highest, or vice versa, but still in a very linear way, and then from there it kind of breaks up when you improvise and you go, like, you know, all over the place, but there's nothing in between. So this will really make your brain think a lot, and what you'll see is that when you start from different notes, you in a strange way, you start playing different scales, because they will kind of fit the pattern of that particular string. It's harder to explain than to do it, so when you do it, you'll see the mistake you'll make. And it's really, really useful, because then it will free you from having to visualize complete patterns on the fretboard. So if you're improvising or composing, you don't have to look at notes as part of a pattern. You can actually just play through the notes, and you're free of using any strings you want. You'll be free to use any frets you want and any combination of fingers. You're not tied to the pattern anymore, so it's very useful. I've been doing this, or I used to do it actually a few years ago, many years ago, and it really was an important step into, you know, to free myself from all the pattern-like structures of scales. Okay, so let me show it to you from close-up, and we'll go very slow so you can see the whole thing. All right. So that's the exercise. As I said, it's very useful for breaking up your patterns of scale playing, and you'll find it very useful when improvising. It will really free you from patterns. The thing is, you have to apply this to all the patterns you know. And then I did it in C major because I wanted to show you that no matter how simple the scale, it can get very complicated when you start messing around with the patterns in your head. But then you can of course move it to more complex scales with a lot of sharps, a lot of flats, and you can move to modes, harmonic minors, melodic minors, diminished scales, and so on. You can do it with anything, and you'll see that it's really useful. All right. So I'll see you next week, hopefully this week for a review of this amp, the FAT 50, and if not, next week for a new V lesson. Alright, see you later. Bye bye.